Guess who's back? Back again. The curse is back. Gonna your friends. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? I don't know why I was some weird mix of Eminem and the Jets from the West Side Story. I can't believe it's week 3 for power rankings. As a Broncos fan, it feels more like week 16. Now raise your hand if it feels like your season's over. Chargers, yeah. Bengals, Texans, yeah. Bears, Vikings, Panthers. I see you guys. Welcome to the 0-2 club, where trying is not cool. Wait, I feel like I'm missing somebody. Who didn't raise their hand? Who didn't raise? Bill? Bill, raise your hand. Bill, you son of a bitch, raise your hand. I know they were tough losses, Bill. I know, okay? But the last time you had to start this bad, you were coaching the Browns. Now enough with the losers. This is the power rankings. I'm going to rank the top 10, 11 teams, the top 11 teams. I'm going to reveal which are in heaven, which are in hell, and now purgatory. And at the end of the episode, I spin this curse wheel to see who it curses. Last week, it got the Lions. So it is back. It is 1 for 1 on the season. Whew. And check it out. Today's episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Use my link in the description to sign up at Underdog. And right now, new customers, they're going to match your first deposit up to $100. But also you get the mystery pick'em special. It's going to be a mystery player for their pick'em games. It's going to be a freebie. Whatever player, like a half a fantasy point, you pick that player, you make it part of your special to win. Also, they have $100,000 Sundays right now. So again, you're playing pick'ems, and whichever featured player they have, you just have to use that player in your pick'em games, and you're entered to win $100,000. They're doing that every Sunday for a massive prize. Again, use my link in the description if you want to play fantasy football over at Underdog, or fantasy sports. They don't just do football. It's all the sports. They do all the sports there, you know? Starting off in hell, rookie QB Bryce Young, who's averaging just 4.2 yards per attempt. That is the third lowest mark through a player's first 2 career games in NFL history with at least 50 attempts. Now, I'm not out on Bryce Young. I'm really not. And I just think it shows how much the Panthers need a wide receiver. But of the 3 rookie quarterbacks right now, he's let me down the most. So have fun with Satan, Bryce. It's a dry heat. Don't worry. The Browns, also in hell, but they kind of just chill there. You know, congrats, Cleveland. 26 seasons without a 2-0 start. The Vikings are in hell. Kirk Cousins was perfect, the best passer all week. In terms of letting someone down, your team did it the hardest, Minnesota. Worst rushing attack in the league as well, 34.5 yards per game. Fix that, and maybe you'll be out of hell. And newly added purgatory, I've got the Lions. If Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't go off next week, boy, oh boy, passing on Jalen Carter and or Christian Gonzalez is going to start to look real dumb, Detroit. I wanted to put you in heaven, but after a curse hits, purgatory seems more realistic until the curse is exercised.
Amen.
And in heaven this week, a place of healing. This is a place for someone or a group that really deserves it, okay? I'm putting NFL running backs here. Nick Chubb suffered the worst injury of the season and deserves only positive energy right now. Josh Jacobs finished with negative rushing yards. Saquon Barkley sprained his ankle. J.K. Dobbins is on IR. David Montgomery hurt. All the guys basically who tried to get better pay for running backs have had bad shit happen to them, and I'm tired of seeing it. Also, I'm putting Joe Burrow's calf here in heaven. Heal, Joe Burrow's calf. Heal. Coming in at 11.
The numbers all go to 11.
These are teams knocking on the door, ready to get in. Saints, Packers, everyone in the AFC South except for the Texans, who ironically may have the best quarterback right now but can't protect him. All are close here, but my toughest choice was the Buccaneers. I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, for Shaq Barrett, but beating the Bears and Vikings leaves some questions. Hang in there with Philly in prime time, and I gotcha, Tampa. My other 11, the Steelers. I have concerns, Pittsburgh, specifically about Kenny Pickett and his development with Matt Canada. Your defense was arguably the best in the league this week. I just want to see that dominance against a real quarterback. Deshaun Watson lost 25 expected points from his turnovers and sacks. Yes, you need a great defense to accomplish that. No taking away from the Steelers' defense, but I'm not sure a good QB is giving you that drastic of a swing. Number 10, I've got the Falcons. You're really 2-0, Atlanta. It's real. And you're joining the Cowboys, the Niners, the Commanders, the Saints, and the Eagles. That's the first time 7 teams in the same conference have all been 2-0. AJ Terrell is officially balling again. He has yet to allow a reception this season, thrown at 7 times, 0 completions his way, okay? He got dinged for pass interference on that Packers flea flicker, but defense is holding its own in Atlanta, and shit, I'm getting excited for the Falcons' run game. 211 total yards on the ground against a respectable Packers D. Bijan had 124 yards on just 19 carries, and wearing number 7, he looks like Mike Vick running. Smooth. Plus, Ritter had a rushing TD, 39 rushing yards, which I hope becomes a part of his game every week. And Cordero Patterson could return this week. Another weapon who can run or catch is going to make Atlanta really fun to watch. The only thing that makes sense right now for the Falcons, though, is Kyle Pitts still not getting targeted. Number 9, the Commanders. I almost put you at 1, okay? Based on your ability to survive a Hail Mary, and in doing so, proved you are bigger than Catholicism. I've already talked about Sam Howell and Brian Robinson this week ad nauseum. The guy I want to highlight is Daron Payne.
What do you know about pain?
Who just wrecked the Broncos line. His series to start the third quarter was magnificent. He literally made 3 great plays in a row to force a 3 and out. A sack, he blew up a run, and he batted down a pass. He's a true beast up front. Oh yeah, and Chase Young recorded 1.5 sacks and just might actually be back.
Fuck you know about pain.
Number 8, the Seattle Seahawks. Big deal, you beat last week's cursed team. Kenneth Walker had 2 rushing touchdowns, but the Lions did a really good job containing Seattle's run game. Walker averaged just 2.5 yards per carry. If you told me that before the game, I would have said, chalk in a Lions win. While I think a ton of injuries to Detroit benefited Seattle, I was impressed with Geno Smith. He won the shootout with his arm. That's this. That's throwing. He carried the offense, completed 78% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, a passer rating of 116, 8 yards per attempt. So all of those numbers back up what I saw. Geno is banning books all across America so no child ever has to write back. Geno against literacy is back in full swing. Number 7, the Ravens. Here you are, Baltimore. Stop bitching in the comments. You're 2-0. Congrats. You won despite a plethora of injuries. You survived. The AFC North might be the most injured division in football right now. Lamar Jackson shook off the rust and was almost boringly efficient in the pass game. He did have a 54 yards on the ground. Zay Flowers will have a breakout game soon. I know that. Every Ravens fan knows that. But I did not have Nelson Aguilar as the Ravens' leading receiver on my football bingo card this week. 63 yards and a TD. Nice, Nelson. OBJ is injured, but when the guy with the grayest hair in the NFL gets dinged up, is it really a surprise? Number 6, the Bills. Hey, come here. Come here, football fans. Josh Allen, he's still good. 3 touchdowns. 83.78% of his passes completed while averaging 7.4 yards per attempt. He became the only quarterback in NFL history to have 5 games with 3 passing touchdowns and a completion percentage at or above 80% for a dude under the age of 30. I'm sure Drew Brees did that like 100 times after the age of 30, but this is exactly the game you wanted to see from Josh Allen after the turnover orgy he had week 1. If James Cook can have another 100-yard performance against the Commanders and that stout front I just mentioned, get excited, Bills fans. Not so excited that you're found naked, covered in human feces like this Bills fan was outside the stadium because he had a bad trip on LSD and cocaine and apparently weed. Who the fuck mixes those 3 drugs? Bills fans,
Just settle down, Bills fans. Get back to your, drunk table thing you do when you're excited. We know. You're still the craziest, Bills Mafia, we know. Number 5, the Chiefs. I never thought I'd watch a Patrick Mahomes-led offense be so pedestrian 2 weeks in a row. Travis Kelce returned. He found the end zone, but I think he's another week or 2 away from being fully healthy. Chris Jones and his return, though, holy shit. Holy shit, fuck cock. Piss butt turd douche damn Jackson Mahomes. He was a true game wrecker. And here's the stat of the week. Jones had a 72.7% win rate on 29 pass rush attempts. For comparison here, Myles Garrett was the best in the league last season and he won 22.5% of the time. That means Jones was literally unblockable. An actual cheat code. KC's defense shut the Jags down in the red zone, and it is the reason they got the big win in Duval. And I actually respect how physical the Chiefs defense is playing right now. Just kidding. Fuck you, Kansas City. Number 4, the Eagles. I think Philly got back to the basics against the Vikings, and that's a good thing. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, they're all great. But the thing that makes that offense hum is the offensive line. Just run the piss out of the football until opposing defenses are begging you to stop. At which point, you run the QB sneak rugby thing. And then when they're just having a full-blown conniption, that's when you throw it to Smith or Brown, who will be wide open for a layup TD. Philly is second in rush yards per game right now, behind only the Browns. Hurts reminds me a lot of a young Russell Wilson, where as long as that run game is working, he's nearly unstoppable. Congrats on stealing DeAndre Swift from the Lions, by the way, and unlike most teams on the injury front, Philly might be getting good news. They might be getting healthier. James Bradbury and Reed Blankenship could be back this week. Is it good when 2 of the starting 5 players in your secondary return? Avonte Maddox, he's on IR with a torn pec, so yeah, those are pretty important. Number 3, the 49ers. Beating the Rams keeps you in the top 5 San Francisco. Really respectable win. However, Kyle Shanahan, you let Brock Purdy's streak of games with at least 2 touchdown passes end. Glock Purdy looked more like Nambu Purdy. There you go, gun lovers. Luckily, Christian McCaffrey is leading the league in rushing yards. Deebo Samuel scored and led the team in receiving yards. As soon as Kittle clicks, I don't see how you game plan for that many weapons. Number 2, the Dolphins. Week 1, your defense was a liability, specifically against the run. I told you Fangio would get that fixed. And you held the Patriots to less than 100 yards on the ground. Rip Van Winkle had a game. He and Bradley Chubb played very well in coverage, and Chubb had the sack on Mac Jones late in the 4th and forced a fumble. Good news, Miami. You get my Broncos this week. And all you have to do to succeed on offense is not throw to the man that Patrick Surtain is covering. Look, I'm a big fan of Spicy Tua, and it's paying off because he's entered the Jokic quadrant in terms of quarterback efficiency. The Dolphins' biggest worry right now is their kicker, Jason Sanders, who has missed a PAT, a field goal, and had this kick blocked. Although, I don't know why people are giving him shit for that. Don't worry, Miami. Your offense is good enough where missing kicks won't be a problem until he misses one in the playoffs in heartbreaking fashion. Their actual biggest concern in Miami should be corner Xavier Howard's penis. After a weird sex tape lawsuit thing this summer, where I said he needs to work on not making his lovers angry, rumors surfaced from an ex that Howard allegedly has 4 different women pregnant right now at the same time. So basically, he's Phillip Rivers to the 4th power.
No contraception.
And number 1, how about them Cowboys? Ooh, damn Dallas. Through 2 games, you've outscored your opponent 70-10. The last team to do that was the 2019 Patriots, who were 77-3 in points scored the first 2 weeks. They were then bounced from the wild card by the Titans, which is a reminder that the season is long. The easy player to highlight in Dallas, I think, is Micah Parsons. 12 pressures, 3 sacks so far, trailing just Aiden Hutchinson and TJ Watt. But I wanted to mention Trayvon Diggs, who was roasted last season for giving up a lot of yards in coverage. Currently, he's allowing a passer rating of 1 when targeted. You could be allowed to pass interfere with Cortland Sutton on every play and still not allow a passer rating that low. The entire Cowboys secondary is playing very well right now. Diggs, Bland, and Gilmore. A huge improvement over the last couple years when the secondary was mediocre. That said, Diggs got smoked by Garrett Wilson here. And Zach Wilson still threw it right to Diggs. So you're good, Dallas, but all you did was make Zach Wilson look like Zach Wilson. Okay. It's time to bring out the little curse guy. Let's see who he curses this week. Will it stand? Can you get a winning record, Curse Wheel? I don't think you can, because I still think you're a fraud, a phony, a fake, predicated on just a violent sport, a tough sport. Number 7. Who is 7? Okay. Oh, the Ravens. You wanted to be in the power rankings. You guys were begging to be in the power rankings. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Holy shit, am I good at YouTube now? Doesn't feel like it, honestly. I don't know what's happening.